Israel-Gaza Iran War news. Minister Gantz resigns from Israeli government when Prime Minister does not satisfy requests. Following the October 7 strike by Hamas, Benny Gantz announced that his party would withdraw from the government due to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's failure to fulfill Gantz's requests. Gantz had joined the current coalition to establish an emergency wartime administration in Israel. Even though the ruling coalition won't fall apart because of Gantz's resignation, Netanyahu will certainly feel greater pressure and be more dependent on his coalition partners as a result. With the support of his associates, the Prime Minister has 64 of the 120 parliamentary seats. Speaking during a live press conference, Gantz accused Netanyahu of holding Israel back from attaining a real triumph in its conflict with Hamas, claiming that fateful, strategic decisions are met with uncertainty and procrastination due to political concerns. As Israel commemorates the one-year anniversary of the assaults, he urged an upcoming election that will lead to a true unity government. The advertising. The leader of the far-right party Itamar Ben-Gvir, who has 6 seats in Netanyahu's coalition, demanded to be appointed to the war cabinet in lieu of Gantz after his resignation, and he put a letter on X demanding the appointment. Achieving meaningful deterrence and providing protection to the inhabitants of Israel requires courageous actions, as Ben-Gvir put it in his writing. There was no quick public comment from Netanyahu's administration. Following an operation in central Gaza that resulted in the release of 4 hostages, Gantz decided to delay his announcement by 1 day. Officials from the Hamas-run health ministry reported that around 270 Palestinians lost their lives in the operation. The military war, Gantz stated in his speech, will go on for years, and he cannot offer false promises of a quick and easy triumph. According to him, if we want to succeed, we must prioritize bringing home the hostage above political survival, combines military success with political and civil initiative, dismantle Hamas, and form a regional alliance against Iran spearheaded by the United States and the rest of the Western world. According to Gantz, he is in favor of the ceasefire agreement that U.S. President Joe Biden proposed and which the War Cabinet has already authorized. As the leader of the opposition, he pledged to support such a scheme and urged the Prime Minister to get the fortitude to support it. Gantz was one of 3 members of the War Cabinet assembled to oversee operations against Hamas until he resigned. His announcement 3 weeks ago that he would resign from his position as minister by June 8 was in response to Netanyahu's failure to address a lengthy list of his requests. By September, Gantz hoped to have assembled a coalition of Arabs, Palestinians, Americans, and Europeans to oversee civilian activities in the coastal strip and repatriate Israelis forced to flee the north due to continuing fighting with Hezbollah in Lebanon back to their homes. He claimed that Netanyahu should focus on improving ties with Saudi Arabia and devising a mysterious strategy to recruit religious men. Since the conflict broke out in October, most surveys have placed Gantz, a former defense minister and chief of the General Staff of the Israel Defense Forces, ahead of Netanyahu in the race to become prime minister. The US and EU consider Hamas a terrorist organization. On October 7, they assaulted Israel, killing 1,200 and capturing 250 more. According to Hamas authorities, who do not differentiate between militants and civilians, about 35,000 Palestinians have been killed as a result of Israel's reaction, which aims to return the captives and dismantle Hamas as a political and military institution.